America is running Egypt. We've all just been hijacked by the same global technocratic management system. But let's be fair. We stole it here in the U.S. from Hitler, and then they've stolen it from us in Egypt. So let's be fair. We didn't invent the wheel here. Homeland or Reich security, Gestapo, checkpoints, black uniforms, surveillance, citizen spies. Hitler did that. And then let's not talk bad about the U.S. government or where it gets its marching orders from, modeling off of Hitler and then the Stasi later. So let's not talk bad about them. And then also expanding on that, Paul, what do you make of Michael Moore, actually a blind hog finding an acorn or a broken clock being right twice a day? He's come out and said, which is admitted weeks ago we reported, Homeland Security is directing all the attacks on Occupy Wall Street all over the country, whether you love Occupy or hate it. The point is they tell the homeless to go there, they release the criminals to go there to make it look bad. And now Homeland Security is directing the attacks on it because George Soros and Obama couldn't co-opt it.
Well, precisely, and that's why the military junta in Egypt has directly pointed at the work of U.S. law enforcement authorities in dealing with these OWS protesters. They said that the, quote, firm stance justified their actions against Egyptian protesters. They killed, obviously, dozens, tortured thousands more over the past few days alone. So again, they're setting the example, and brutal third world military dictatorships are following course. And yeah, that's right, Moore's come out today and said that it's basically a Tiananmen Square moment for the Occupy Wall Street movement.
And by the way, it is. Look, when you have police beating women over the head for no reason, beating people in fetal positions and saying that's resisting, when they're assaulting you, all the common law, all the federal rulings say you have a right to defend yourself against an assault by anybody. But instead now, while they assault you, you can't even cover your baby as they pepper spray it, or that's assaulting them. Don't worry, though. All of you fools and psychos serving the evil system, it's going to suck you dry as well. You're going to be judged by opening this gate to hell. I want you to know that. Watson, continue.
But, I mean, Alex, they were blocking a path, just like the Chinese guy was blocking the tank in Tiananmen Square. I mean, should he have been mown down? There are comments on neocon...
Yes, our government today would literally slit that guy's throat if he had a child with it, bash its brains out, and then charge the child with assault.
But I've read comments on neocon websites where it's like, yeah, spray the damn hippies. They were blocking the path. So does that mean that guy should have been turned into pulp by the communist Chinese tank? To be fair, it's split 50-50 with these neocons. Some of them were saying, yeah, but even if you disagree with the protesters, it sets a horrible example, which is exactly right. We don't agree with every grievance that they've uttered, and in fact, they've blocked us from their own official website. That doesn't mean we're not going to speak out against flagrant police brutality.
That's the George Soros group on record with that site trying to control that diverse group. And so, of course, they've banned Infowars.com and Alex Jones, and then mixed in David Duke to make us look bad. I mean, look, that is exactly, just because their leadership is authoritarian doesn't mean we're authoritarian. Just because everybody else is turning to evil and turning to stomping on our way of life and the republic doesn't mean we stomp on it.
Well, that's right. And I mean, just as the OWS protesters can be manipulated, so are those in Egypt. I mean, it's the same April 6 youth movement, Mohammed el-Baradei, international crisis group, that are trying to get in power. So they're trying to replace a hardcore arcane dictatorship with a soft, touchy-feely dictatorship. But again, that doesn't mean you support the brutal crackdown on protesters that we've seen over the past few days. So it's important to make that distinction. But what's also interesting, Alex, is that Ron Paul actually got occupied yesterday as CNN clips just emerged. Ron Paul's giving a town hall speech and he gets disrupted by Occupy Wall Street protesters who start chanting, we are the 99%. I mean, they're protesting a guy who's took no money from Wall Street, while the polls show that half of them plan to vote for Barack Obama, who, of course, his entire administration is funded by Wall Street.
Again, the term Occupy Wall Street is a cutout for the Democrats to claim anybody who ever protests the banking corruption is on their side. Then they can send their operatives after their real enemy, and that right there just proves that large segments of it are Soros run. Paul, one more segment on this situation, then Aaron Dykes is coming up, and then your phone call. Stay with us.
Iodine protection packs from hempusa.org are now in stock for immediate delivery worldwide. Our iodine protection packs include microplant powder, green life kelp, red palm oil, and our clear roll-on iodine that will feed the body the iodine it needs. All iodine protection packs are in stock, save you money, and ship for free in all 50 states. Visit hempusa.org or call 908-691-2608 today.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit, then carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Hi, Ted Anderson. I'm placing a silver dollar in a book explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Folks, have you lost your power and wanted to simply flip a switch to get the lights back on? If so, this is going to be the most important message you'll ever hear, because there's never been a better time to get ready for the winter power outages ahead. Here's why. Solar-powered generators are now available from our friends at Solutions from Science, one of our oldest sponsors. Their emergency backup systems provide life-saving electrical power when you need it most. Unlike gas generators, a solar generator runs quietly, emits no fumes, and produces electricity from the sun. It's like having an electric power plant running quietly in your own home. Whether it's ice storms, brownouts, or blackouts, you'll never have to suffer through painful power outages again. When the power goes out this winter, you'll be ready with a solar-powered generator from Solutions from Science. Go to mysolarbackup.com for more information. That's mysolarbackup.com or call 877-327-0365.
Burglars love easy targets, like a dark house that looks like no one is home. Don't let your home be the next target. Make it look like someone is home watching television with Fake TV. Fake TV is a small electronic device that makes the same light as a real television, so from outside it looks like someone is home watching TV. Fake TV plugs in just like a lamp on a timer, but is far more convincing to burglars. Fake TV deters burglars, costs far less than an alarm, comes with AC adapter, and is highly recommended by numerous police departments. Use it anytime you're away from home. To order your Fake TV for only $34.95, go to faketv.com or call 1-877-5-FAKE-TV. Each additional Fake TV is only $29.95. So get one for you and give one or more for Christmas. Now through Christmas, get free standard shipping on any quantity Fake TV purchase. Call 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. Faketv.com, the burglar deterrent.
Thank you for joining us, my friends. Alex Jones from the road. I'll be back Wednesday. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving coming up. We have a lot to be thankful for. Private property rights, the family, the Second Amendment. And the United States has not been perfect, but it's been the best there's been when it comes to liberty and freedom. Literally the pioneer. It's a true shame to see it becoming a pioneer in corruption and oppression and new forms of technocratic evil. I saw an article where one of England's top judges admits that they're getting rid of the entire English common law and Magna Carta, which is the model of the U.S. system and then the model worldwide of freedom, and going to an EU-UN model. And by the way, they've got, 31 declarations of human rights, but in the last articles, they state that you don't have any rights that the UN says. Notice they're invading all these countries in the name of people's rights and then putting in even more dictatorial regimes. You see, they want a brutal oligarchy where you can't even pick off a single leader and where you don't have one big ego to deal with, but just a bunch of criminals that work for you. Kind of like we have now with our corrupt Congress. That's what's being set up in Egypt. Going back to Paul Watson, witnessing all of this happen, no one can deny now, even people who are totally illiterate historically, that this is an out-of-control, globally directed, corporate, creeped-out, control-freak, really insane tyranny. Where they destroy the world system as they gobble it up, and they just hope that a bunch of paramilitary police having their own world destroyed, their own future destroyed, are going to follow orders and beat everybody in the head and just hope everybody's watching NASCAR and football and soccer drooling. I don't think they're going to get away with it. I mean, their old tricks don't work anymore, Paul.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it, that when the police were beating people up in Syria, the humanitarian crusaders, Mr. Obama and Hillary Clinton, called on Assad to step down. We had Libyan, they were still being called protesters by the media, even as they commandeered fighter jets and rocket-propelled grenades. They were being harshly treated. Of course, we had that invasion. But when dozens are killed and thousands are tortured on the streets of Cairo, you know, Obama and Hillary, there's barely a whimper. Where's the NATO-backed humanitarian intervention there? Where's the humanitarian intervention in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia when protesters are getting their heads cracked there on a daily basis?
Well, I mean, shot there.
Yeah,
it doesn't even make our news when they just shoot a crowd. I mean,
that happened today. It's like every day, and it barely makes the news. But I mean, $1.3 billion in aid in 2010 alone to Egypt's ruling military junta kind of explains why Obama and Clinton aren't that concerned about dead protesters on the streets of Cairo. So again, it illustrates the hypocrisy. And then even if they do get rid of the military dictatorship, you've got El Baradi and all these other, CFR globalists waiting to swoop in and give them a soft dictatorship.
Members or visitors of the Bilderberg Group and Trilateral Commission CFR, you're not supposed to mention that because the anointed mainstream media said we're not supposed to talk about international bankers and cartels. That's a conspiracy theory. Sure, they're just announcing in Time Magazine and Financial Times of London that it's a, quote, global Goldman Sachs banking dictatorship, and our media almost congratulates them. Oh, good job. You took everything down. Wow, you really control all the governments. But then when we say we don't want to live under these bankers, it's like, shut up, it doesn't exist, you insane person. You caused the White House shooting.
Well, I mean, precisely, and they still go on about Bilderberg and how it has no power. Even after the former NATO Secretary General, Claes from Belgium, Willy Claes, came out and said that they go to Bilderberg, they get their orders, and then they carry them out in their different spheres of influence. So they admit it. The Bilderberg members admit it, and yet it's still a conspiracy theory, and you're a dangerous extremist if you believe in it.
Well, Paul, you churn out so many prolific articles that we need to get you or Kurt or Steve or Aaron or somebody to do an article saying, is it still bad to talk about global government? Are we allowed to? And just be sarcastic and show like 10 articles where insiders admit there's a global corporate government, and then 10 examples under it, or 5 or whatever, of them currently saying it doesn't exist. Have you seen the video of the old guy that comes up and gets mad because I'm videotaping the UN marker and saying America's being taken over?
At the Grand Canyon, yeah.
I mean, these people, it's like, you don't get a medal when you're right, folks. You get attacked. Paul, briefly, what's coming up tonight on the Nightly News?
Well, more detail into everything we've discussed. We've also got computerized contact lens that will keep you up to date with news and text. They're going to have very convenient. I'm sure there's no privacy implications whatsoever with that. So obviously we got Ron Paul gets occupied. We got this TSA rape case. We got the whole Egypt situation and more on Homeland Security.
All right, great job, Watson. Watson over at PrisonPlanet.com, Infowars.com, and read his article at DrudgeReport.com. We'll be right back with Aaron Dykes. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN